Welcome to USL training, basic training for an internet radio presenter using SAM Broadcaster. Video 2. Open SAM and look at your screen. At the top of the screen you will see the tabs File, Player, General, Window, Layout, Tools and Help. For this exercise, ignore everything except Window. When you click on Window, all the windows you will see on your screen will have a tick next to it in the drop-down box. If you remove the tick, the window will not be on your screen anymore. To get it back, just tick it off on the drop-down window again and the window will be on your screen. When you click on the arrow next to the Manual tab, you will see the following: Auto DJ Mode, Play Queue, Manual DJ, and Auto Recovery. I'm not going to discuss Auto Recovery right now. Auto DJ Mode. When this is ticked, the button or the tab name will change to Auto DJ. This is when the playlist you created on SAM will take over and plays queue. But I'm not going to discuss this function right now. Play queue. When this is ticked, the button or the tab name will change to Play Queue, and the tracks on your queue list will load and play automatically the one after the other. This one you will only tick if you urgently have to leave your station during your show and will have to change it back to manual on your return. You just need to make sure you've got enough tracks on your play queue list for the time that you will be away from your station. Manual. This is the one that needs to be ticked, and the button name must always be on manual when you broadcast, because you have to load your tracks manually to be in control. Otherwise the tracks will play while you try to do your show. This you do not want to happen. For all purposes you only touch the play queue and the manual function buttons, but make sure that the manual function is active before you start your show. Player functions. Active player. This returns the player object considered the active player. If only one deck is playing a track, then this track will be the active player. If both decks are playing a track, then the deck with the longest duration remaining is considered the active deck. If neither deck A or deck B have any tracks playing, then this function returns null. It is very important that you check for the null value unless you are certain that there will always be an active deck. Idle player. A deck is considered idle if no song is queued up in the deck and the deck is not actively playing any tracks. If both decks are idle, deck A is returned as the idle object. If both decks are queued up or actively playing a track, then this function will return null. Queued player. A player is considered in queued mode if the deck has a song object loaded onto the deck, but the deck is not currently active playing any tracks. If both decks are either idle or active, then this function will return null. Otherwise it will return the first queued deck. Overall, the active player function is used much more than any of the others. Most of the examples will deal with this function. The deck properties. The current time property can be monitored to see whether a song is approaching its end when compared to the duration property, and then some action can be taken right before the next song is started or queued. Note, due to the gap killer, it may be less than 10 seconds. You can use the actual value of the calculation to get the correct value of the time remaining. Deck A and B are the two decks on which you will load your tracks to play. The properties. The current time property can be monitored to see when a song is approaching its end when compared to the duration property, and then some action can be taken right before the next song is started or queued. The remaining time property can be monitored to see when a song is approaching its end when compared to the duration property, and then some action can be taken right before the next song is started or queued. The total time property shows the total time of the track. To sound professional, you will start talking when the remaining time property lands on 4 seconds. You have two options on how to load tracks on your deck. Remember, you have compiled your script and the music and jingles you want to use in your show. You want to list the track on your queue in the order you arranged it in your script. it. How to play your tracks during your show. Here you have two options again. Remember, you are on manual DJ mode, so you will have to load your tracks manually. You can load tracks onto your decks in two ways during your show. One, you can double click on the track in your queue and it will start play on your deck, but this could be risky to do so. Or highlight the track on your queue list by left click on the track at the duration, dragging it to the deck you want to play it on and drop it onto the deck. To play, just click on play on the deck. The volume on your decks and voice effects. And the encoder, you will see that there are the colors red, yellow and green. It will highlight when you talk into the microphone or play music. It will be clearer when you practice it on your own PC on Sam. Because the sound card and settings differ from PC to PC, the guides for your sounds will depend on the colors on the decks, voice effects and encoder that is highlighted when you perform your tasks. If the light is in the red, your sound is too loud and needs to be adjusted. If it's in the yellow and just touches the red, it is fine. If it reaches the green, it is too soft and also needs to be adjusted. Encoders are used to stream your show live on air. MP3 is one of the oldest streaming formats, which means it's compatible with most players on most software, sound devices and browsers. Important, you work only play and stop buttons on this window. Do not touch any other button except these two. The blue button should always be in, otherwise you will not be able to capture your voice on your recording device and your listeners would be able to hear everything you say or any noises in the room you occupy whilst playing your tracks. In the picture you will see the number 1. This is the encoder to the radio station's live stream. You now have the option to specify that an encoder does absolutely no streaming, but will be used to archive the content only. This allows you to create a second encoder which sole duty is to archive the stream. Starting and stopping your encoder. To start your show, you highlight the encoder with the line stream on your encoder and click on the play button. The stop button on the encoder will turn to black. In this example, the live encoder is marked 1 MP3. Once the play button is clicked, your encoder will start to connect to the radio station to enable you to broadcast live. The idle mode on the encoder will change to encoding and the description will change from encoder not started to encoded streamed. To end your show and stop the encoder, highlight the encoder or the live stream and press the stop button at the top. The encoding will stop and your live show ended. Well done. The voice effects. The volume on your mic setting depends on your computer settings, but is normally on the maximum. You will see that on your right hand side next to the 2 rows of lights. Mic volume. This must be pushed to the top. Your music volume setting will be pushed about just under half on this picture to ensure your music is not louder than your voice on air. At the right hand side there is a vertical row of lights that will go on when you speak into the microphone. If it is lighted red, the volume is too high. If the light is in the green, the volume is too low. The ideal is that the light should be in the yellow just touching the red button. The ideal is that the light should be in the yellow just touching the red. The button named mic off must be green. When you speak, you have to click on the lock talk button and it must be green. Very important. When playing recordings or tracks on your decks, the lock talk button must have no light that is on. In other words, this light must be green only when you speak to your listeners. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.